trick that I've actually learned kind of just in the process of selling on Amazon is the importance of questions and answers, right? So when you look at an Amazon listing, you'll sometimes see, 50 questions answered about this product, right? Like let's say, for example, you're looking at a part for your new camera, right? You want to make sure that it's compatible with a specific model, right? And there's always people answering and asking questions about like the size, weight, feel, just everything about your product, right? And so a really cool way to increase your ranking, right? Because Amazon actually gives a lot of weight to these questions is to use a very cool website called Answer the Public, right? And so what you can think about Answer the Public as is a Google specifically for questions, right? So it's basically a question search engine. And so just to illustrate, how you can basically do this with anything. So I have a travel coffee mug right here. So let's type in travel coffee mug. Right, and so what this does, guys, and right, so I just noticed I forgot this. So this website actually defaults to the UK, and so since I mainly sell in the US, I'm going to switch it to the US just so we get a little bit more, um, accurate results for it. Right, and so what this does is it shows you questions, propositions, and then alphabetically ordered data representations of questions related to this product, right? And so if we look down here, right, so this isn't a great example because there's only one question, so we'll do one more, but just to kind of illustrate it and give you two examples just to really cement everything in your head. So this is the question most asked about this specific product, right? So what is the best coffee mug? What is the best travel coffee mug, right? And so when you're creating your listing and when you're creating your bullets and you're creating your title, you want to be able to preemptively answer these questions that people are going to have about your product to basically try to increase your conversion rate, right? Because once they're on your product listing, they have questions about your product, and if you can answer them before them having to email you, before them having to look at other product listings, then it really gives you a big edge against your competitors because you've already alleviated any concerns that your customers might have about your product, right? Because they're coming to your product to solve something in their life, right? They want their coffee in the morning, they want to be able to take it with them when they're traveling, things like that, right? And so they have concerns, and so Google, the world's best aggregator and organizer of data in the world, without a question, Google is that, right? And so what they've done here is when you actually type a question directly into Google and this question is the most asked question about this product, Google will organize the answers for you, right? So these are the things that Google has decided are the most relevant answers to what makes the best travel coffee mug, right? So insulated stainless steel double wall direct drink bottle, right? Stainless steel travel mug, easy clean lid, right? So people want to be able to clean these easily. They want to be able to have, insulation. They want a stainless steel model most often, right? And so when you're looking at these top results, it's basically telling you exactly what you need to include in your bullets, and it's telling you exactly what you want to include in your title to alleviate these questions people are asking themselves when they're looking to buy these products, right? They've in the past, maybe they've had ones that didn't clean very easily, and so now they're looking for one that's specifically designed to be able to clean easily, right? Or maybe they're looking for one that has insulation more so than their last because last time it didn't keep their coffee warm enough, right? And so let's take another example, right? Because this one didn't have a ton on here. So if we go to answerthepublic.com, go back to the US. So I have a little robot here that cleans our carpet, right? So a lot of you probably in the US have heard of them. The brand name is called Roomba. I'm sure there's other competitors, iRobot now, and things like that. So here's a better example, right? So look at all these questions, right? So if you start the preposition with how, right, it tells you here how does a Roomba work, how Roomba virtual wall works, right? Are Roombas worth it? So these are just the proposition, or sorry, excuse me, the prepositions related to the questions, right? So there's a ton of stuff here. Why are Roombas so expensive? So maybe you're saying something in your title about, worth the money, or look at all these. When Roomba met dog poop. What is Roomba charging error, right? So maybe you include a manual because there's one of the most common questions is about charging errors. What does Roomba mean? What series Roomba do I have, right? So people are kind of curious about the models, so maybe you make something specifically about the models. What Roomba is best for pet hair, so maybe you're releasing different models, and some are specifically targeted at pet owners, right? So you cater that listing specifically for the questions related to your product, right? And so if this one's kind of hard to digest, because it is, right? They have it organized by alphabetical order down here as well, right? And so, I mean, this website just gives you so much, right? Because it's telling you not only what people are asking, but it's also telling you, the frequencies. It's giving you, how they start the question, and this can really give you such a big advantage with conversion rate, right? Because when you're launching your product, you want to keep your conversion rate as high as possible, because the more people that are actually clicking on your product listing that do convert gives you a very high boost in your organic ranking very quickly, right? So it's incredibly important to have a high conversion rate. So I mean, right? So run Roomba without battery, like, so can you run it without a battery? Um, yeah. So here's the other one, iRobot. Right, the battery can last for many clearing cycles. So maybe you include something about, battery lasts for 1,000 charges or something like that, right? So there's basically an unlimited amount of things you can do with this website. It's incredibly important, right? And if when you are gathering your first initial reviews, a lot of people nowadays still use family and friends, even though it's technically Amazon doesn't allow it. Just so you guys know what's happening out there, right? So if people are going to use family and friends, one of the cool things that they can do is they can get that review, right? And then that person can also ask a targeted question that a lot of other people have, right? And so if they're asking this question saying, what is the best Roomba for pet hair? And then you answer, specifically with, this model is best for pet hair, this model is best for, marble or tile floors or something like that, to answer a question that a lot of people on your listing have, then you'll be able to increase your conversion rate and really give yourself a big boost.